Well, it's Eric Arnold back in the sports barn. It's Sunday morning, probably around 1:30 in the morning. What is it, the 28th? I'm losing track. 27th, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Christmas is Friday, so it's the 27th. I don't know if this will be take 1, take 10. What? We're having video production problems. Things were going pretty good, and now, we've had trouble uploading these videos. I'm blaming YouTube. I don't know if my blame is correct. I got it to upload Saturday's video by using a backup computer. So I'm thinking maybe the backup computer has coded the thing in such a fashion that YouTube will accept it. Maybe the backup computer is untainted by conservative media web searches that YouTube is looking for. I don't know. Well, anyway, so I'm trying to figure it out. I've been fiddling with the settings. Now my settings, I think, are fouled up. So long story short, who knows what's going to happen here. We're not even going to bother writing the games on the board because it's late and I want to get to bed. And so I don't even know when that'll happen. All right, so another winning Saturday for those of you who checked out the Saturday video. Buccaneers, easy winner there. That went just about the way we hoped it would. The Lions, a lot of injuries, backup quarterback, nothing to play for, put forth no effort whatsoever. Easy win for the Buccaneers. College basketball, that was a loss. Northwestern's probably better than people are giving them credit for. It looks like they actually have some talent on that team. Yeah, Larry Nance, I was thinking about this, is that there's a lot of these kids now floating into the college basketball ranks, seemingly particularly in the Big Ten. And they're stars from back in the day when I watched pro basketball. And I want to thank these guys because usually they name them after themselves. So I know, Ron Harper Jr. It's like, I remember Ron Harper. He played for the Cavs. Boy, that guy was good. Well, that guy, his son is really good, and he plays for Rutgers. Jamal Mashburn Jr. He's a freshman at Minnesota. Well, Larry Nance, I guess, named this kid something else. So, there's this guy Nance running around all over the place for Northwestern. It's like, this guy's killing us. Who is this guy? And sure enough, it's Larry Nance's kid. So you should have named him Larry Nance Jr. and warned us, Larry, but he didn't. So anyway, lost there. Ohio State, they had the lead late. They were looking like they had a good chance of covering, and then it just kind of got away from them. So, can't win them all. That was probably a bad handicapping job there with the Cardinals. If you had to pick one team that was going to piss themselves with a good chance to make the playoffs, you'd probably look at teams like the Cardinals, the Browns, the Cardinals. The Niners, I guess, decided, hey, we were in the Super Bowl last year. Let's not go 5-11. So they found enough residual pride to get it done over the choke Arizona Cardinals. So that was a loss. But then this saved the night here, these late games. Liberty, much the best. We said they'd win that game outright. They did. They tried to give it away. If you saw that game. Both these games had similar endings where both teams are lining up, trying to kill out the clock and kick a game-winning field goal, leaving the other team nothing left on the clock, and they both screwed it up. Both covered, but Liberty got the win. The Raiders did not. If you saw the end of that Raiders game, it was a great game, another instant classic. You wish fans were there, but anyway. A lot of late scores, back, forth. The Raiders, I would have done what Gruden did. It backfired on him. He lost the game, but he's got the ball deep in their territory. He's down a point because his kicker sucks and missed an extra point. So he's down a point, but he's got within their 5-yard line. But there's 2 minutes left in the game. So if he scores a touchdown, he's going to hand the ball back to Miami, and there's going to have maybe a minute 30, and they're going to have 1 or 2 timeouts left with a chance to drive the length of the field and score, which all of a sudden hadn't been a problem for him. So I would have done what he did: just milk the clock, kick the field goal, give him the ball with about 25 seconds left. Here you go. You got 25 seconds, no timeouts. Kick the winning field goal. And they did it. They did it. Las Vegas's defense was shitty enough. They just could not stop them. Could not stop them. Kudos to Miami. I'm really starting to get impressed with Brian Flores. Really impressed there. We've got a baseball announcer here in Philadelphia. And you may have heard of the guy. Larry Anderson used to pitch, relief pitcher. One of those guy with the flake reputation. Well, he one of his favorite sayings is, you got to have a feel. You got to have a feel. And Flores has a feel, I think. In other words, that game was going nowhere for Miami. They were just dead in the water, could not move the ball. Tua's not getting it done. Fourth quarter, he brings out Fitz magic. Here comes Fitzpatrick, and I thought right away, they're going to win this game. This guy's going to do it. He's going his teammates, Fitzpatrick's teammates, love him. So when that guy hits the field, man, you could almost feel the energy come through the TV. This guy's going to win this game. And sure enough, he did it. He did it. I felt good for him. I like that guy. I mean, I like his story. For all I know, he's an axe murderer, but I like him based on what I know about him. So he's got the big W. That's going to make him feel good. But yeah, Flores, the conventional NFL coach wisdom is, you can't take out the rookie quarterback. You're going to shatter his confidence. He will never be the same. Or at least that's the wisdom here in Philadelphia. You can't change quarterbacks. Oh my God, he'll fall to pieces. Is Tua really going to fall to pieces? He knows he's the starter. He knows he's the man. He's like 23. Fitzpatrick's like 38. They're not going to make Fitzpatrick the starter going forward. Next week in Buffalo, Tua's the starter. I'm pretty sure about that. Anyway, I thought that was a hell of a move by Flores. It struck me as a move that somebody like Don Shula would have made, maybe even a John Madden. Hey, we need this game. My guy in there is not getting it done. He's a rookie. The hell with it. I'm going to the backup, the veteran, the guy that's been there, done that, seen some things, and wouldn't you know, it worked for him. So kudos to the Dolphins, kudos to Fitzpatrick, kudos to the Raiders for playing tough enough to get the cover. The Raiders, I think we finally figured it out after 20 years. The Raiders, you simply do the opposite of whatever you would do for the other 31 teams. The Raiders are immune to logic. They are immune to handicapping trends. The Raiders are a case unto their own. So that's where we're going to play them from now on. All right. So let's get to Sunday. Now, all right, so we got high-tech stuff here in the barn. I was going to do it in the house. Honestly, I was. And I couldn't get the lighting right. And I thought, oh, God damn, I'm going to have to go out there. It's like 15 degrees, but going to have to do it. So, all right, now this is our high-tech programming here. I'm just going to kind of shuffle this around a little bit, hoping that you can read it. These are our plays. So hit pause, hit pause so you can see it. Otherwise, this is just going to be a verbal deal here because I didn't write them on the board because the marker's barely marking 15 degrees as it is. All right. So, early games. We got the Browns, Jets. Um, Look, I didn't know what to make of this game, and it took me so long to handicap the games. The answer became clear. Um, the Browns, I guess, are missing their wide receivers because of this virus. Somebody tested positive, and then the other three guys ate lunch with them. So now they all got to sit out too. None of them are sick, of course, but 2020 science. The strength of the Browns team is not their wide receivers or the quarterback for that matter. The strength of the Browns team is their offensive line and the running backs. So I'm not really worried about these COVID tests. I think we're getting a bargain, really. The line I saw just before I come out here to the barn was 7, that the Browns were a 7-point favorite. It was upwards of 10 or 11. At 7, I'm a buyer. I like it there. I think the Browns are going to be ready, knowing that they have Pittsburgh next week. I think they are not going to look past the Jets, particularly with these injuries. I like that. In other words, I'm a little nervous. The Browns might have just kind of peeked over the fence at the Steelers for next week if they had a full deck. Now, knowing that they're missing some people, I think that's just going to kind of bring them back down, saying, you know what, we need to just take care of these assholes. We need to beat these Jets, make sure we make the playoffs. Let's not do some Cleveland Brown-esque type thing like blow the playoffs with a 10-4 record with 2 to go. Let's not do that. Let's take care of business. So I think they're going to come out and handle the New York Jets. The New York Jets, who they've got to bounce backwards this week after playing over their head last week, coming across country back from the West Coast. I like the Browns here. Plus, the Browns have already played on this track, if you will. They played at the New Meadowlands. They're comfortable there. I see no reason to see why this game isn't going to be a repeat of last Sunday night when the Browns just sat. They just sat on the Giants, and I just see a repeat, 20-6, 23-7, 23-10. They're going to cover, lay the 7, take the Browns. Now, all these are 1 star unless otherwise indicated. We got the Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals, they're at Houston, at the Houston Texans. The Bengals coming off the big smashing upset in Cincinnati over the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are suddenly reeling. I don't even remember what the Texans did last week. I think they came up short against their Indianapolis rival again. I like the Bengals. Not a lot. I like them enough to be a 1 star. I fear that they may have played over their head last week and may bounce backwards a little bit. But there looked like there was some talent there on that Cincinnati team. And oddly enough, even though the Houston's a 7-point favorite, if I had to pick a team that might just fold the tents in this game, it might be Houston. In other words, their season's over. They have a lot of high-priced veterans on that team that might just be kind of like, yeah, all right. I mean, the season's over. I'm under contract. I mean, who am I trying to impress? Is T.J. Watt going to go out there and no, I got that wrong. I see. That's how he's not even the best Watt anymore. It's J.J. Watt I'm referring to. Is he going to go out there and burn down the house in a meaningless game? No, I don't think he is. I think there are perhaps some young, hungry players in Cincinnati that are going to play hard. Plus, the Texans have the Titans next week, and I think that might be their Super Bowl. In other words, the Bengals. But I surely would like to take a shit in the Titans Cheerios and wreck their playoff hopes. So perhaps that's the game they're pointing to, not this one with the Bengals. Take the 7 points with Cincinnati. All right, we got the Colts and Steelers in the Pittsburgh. This is a big game. 2 playoff teams, hope probably. The Steelers are in. So, and they're reeling all of a sudden. The wonders of not having a running game, where all I do is throw the ball every down. So the Steelers are suddenly, having trouble moving the ball. That really precise passing game, when it's cold and crummy out, you have little stupid things happen, like that team leads the league in drop passes, which is mostly a function of they throw the ball every down. They have good receivers. They're not dropsy guys. They just throw the ball every down. Just by, function of throwing the ball every down, you're going to have some drops. So the Colts, good team, good coach, I think, Frank Reich. Oddly enough, a guy we like to bash here in the barn, just forgot his name, Philip Rivers. He plays pretty well outside. You think he's a West Coast dude from San Diego, well, his whole career, that he's going to struggle in the cold. His record's not bad outside. It really isn't. So I think we're going to just go ahead here and take the 1 point on the road with Indianapolis at Pittsburgh. We're going to play it such that the Steelers are starting to fade. They're starting to fade. We're not expecting a huge bounce back game here from the Steelers. We're going to take the Colts and get the 1 point there. All right, this was a nothing game, and now thanks to the Cardinals, they've thrown the Bears right back into the playoff hunt. The Bears are on the road at Jacksonville. They're an 8-point favorite. The Chicago Bears, 8-point favorite at Jacksonville. I like Jacksonville. I really do. I just think you're saying, well, how can the Bears overlook anybody? They have to win this game. Yeah, but it's 1-13 Jacksonville. I mean, next week, I think they have, I cannot remember. They got a divisional opponent next week. And my memory's just failing me in the early morning hours here in the barn. But it's definitely a more difficult opponent than Jacksonville. So I think the Bears are looking ahead. The Bears are simply not that good. There's that. Their defense is not that good. In Jacksonville, I think there's a decent chance Minshew plays. They buried him on the bench, I think largely because they're tanking. They want the number 1 pick. But Minshew got some snaps in practice. He may find the field somehow Sunday. And if he does, I think Jacksonville wins the game outright. He strikes me as that Fitzmagic kind of guy, where he's going to hit the field, his teammates are going to rally around him, they're going to play hard. I think this is going to be Jacksonville's Super Bowl, if you will. I think they are going to play hard on Sunday and cover. There are 2 stars in this game. I like this game. 2 stars with Jacksonville getting 8 at home. All right, Chiefs, Falcons, games at Kansas City. Andy Reid coasting into the playoffs with the best record. I think he basically has the number 1 seed locked up. Both these opponents he's playing here at the end of the year, none of them are strong opponents. I think the Chargers, he has them left. Andy has not had a blowout type game yet, or for a while. He's winning. He's only lost once all year, but he hasn't had a game in a while where he's just waxed somebody. And I think we're going to get that, a la what the Buccaneers did to the Lions. I think Andy's ready to tune somebody up. And the Falcons, I think, are maybe the perfect opponent. They've, a long season that's been over for a long time. And, I think it's just a good spot for the Falcons just to not show up. Even though the Chiefs have some of their, main weapons that are on the bench. Hilaire, he's out. Their good rookie running back. The fast kid that Hill, is that it? Tyreek Hill, he's probably out. I don't think it's going to matter. I mean, Mahomes is going to play. Not Jason Kelsey, the other Kelsey, their Kelsey. He's going to play, and I don't think it's going to matter. Lay the 11 with the Chiefs. 1 star there. This is kind of a field game. It's a nothing game. The Los Angeles Chargers laying 3 at home against the Denver Broncos. Um, Earlier in the year, the Chargers easily were on their way to defeat the Broncos up in Denver, and they somehow pissed it away, as the Chargers are wont to do. Pissed it away late to the Broncos, losing by a point. I think the Chargers are just better than the Broncos. The Broncos, they've had a tough schedule here these last few weeks. They've had a lot of travel. The Chargers seem to be getting well. They had an embarrassing loss to the Patriots, but since then they've won 2 straight games. I think they're getting in a rhythm here late. Their quarterback is the best player on the field, Herbert. And just based on that, we're only laying 3 points, and I got the best player on the field, and he's my quarterback too. Yeah, oh yeah. Give me the Chargers. Give me the Chargers. This is a 2-star game here. We're going to come right back with the Chargers. We had them last week. They were winners for us. We're coming right back with them 2 stars with the Chargers. All right, now we're getting into some good games here late, the 4 o'clock games. These are all playoff games here, basically. For all of us in the NFC least, if you will, who's going to make it? I'd rather make it than not make it. In other words, well, do you want the draft pick? I mean, why do you want to get in at 6, 9, and 1? Well, just because. It has happened in this town in the not too distant past that a team that had no chance whatsoever of winning a Super Bowl got into the playoffs and won the Super Bowl. So you just never know. I want the Eagles to make it. For the Eagles to make it, we got the Panthers at the Washington football team. Last number I saw was the Panthers were catching a point. We like the Panthers. I mean, I just basically it came down to, what? If the Washington football team in a game that means something for the playoffs, if they can win a game with Dwayne Haskins at quarterback, without Terry McLaurin, without Antonio Gibson, well, then you are a daisy. I don't think they can do it. I'm going to take Matt Rule and the Panthers. I say they get it done, and they beat the formerly known team as, I forget the R word, the former R word, now the Washington football team. They're going down. The Panthers, that's what we're saying there. And now we got the big game. The Cowboys and Eagles. This is the one where we in Philadelphia, I mean, we wait all year for these games and work ourselves up into a frenzy for them. The Cowboys are 3-point underdogs at home to the Philadelphia Eagles. If that tells you where I'm going, I don't get it. The line's wrong. I mean, I know. Yes, I get it. Jalen Hurts is looking like the next coming of Donovan McNabb. He's hustling. He's running. He's picking up first downs. He's making plays. What an exciting player. I'm going to take the Cowboys. 2 stars on this. I'm not buying it. I don't buy it. We had him last week and we just ran out of time. I thought he did everything he could to cover that number, and they still didn't cover the number, which is basically our thinking here, is that the Eagles are 3-point favorites because everybody's thinking, all right, we got rid of Carson Wentz. He was the problem. Now that we have this new, better guy in there, suddenly the Eagles are back. Look, the Eagles suck, and Carson Wentz is a large part of that, but he ain't the only reason because they suck. He certainly is not the whole issue, and I think we're going to see that Sunday. The Eagles will do what they do. They'll make critical mistakes at critical times. The Cowboys play clean. and don't throw the ball all over the place or fumble it all over the place like Ezekiel Elliott has done this year, the Cowboys are going to win this game. That's where we're playing this. We're we're getting 3 points at Jerry World. I'll take that all day. 2 stars on the Cowboys, plus the 3. And then lastly, your late night game, that's the Packers and Titans. This, again, was kind of a field game for me. I only put 1 star on it, but I thought, yeah, I need to play this because it's such a big game. And you want to know what I think on it because I would want to know what the coach thinks of the Sunday night game. I mean, that's certainly what I would want. Yeah, I just came down with the Packers are better than the Titans. That's just basically where I came down with it. I looked at the comparable matchups this year. You know, the one real comparable matchup I came down with was the Colts game. You know, the Titans, for the most part, they got blown out by the Colts, and then they blew the Colts out. But, you know, the Packers lost to the Colts, but the Packers should have won that game easily. The Packers fumbled the ball in ridiculous fumbles. They not fumbled, they won at 1 easy. So that's kind of where I'm at there. I just think the Packers are, line's 3. The line is 3. To me, it should be upwards of 6. And I think you're getting value with the Packers, especially at 3. So that's where I'm at there with the Packers. So to recap, you know, your 2-star games are the Jaguars plus 8, the Chargers minus 3, the Cowboys plus 3, and then the rest, we got the Browns over the Jets, Bengals over the Texans, Colts over the Steelers, Chiefs over the Falcons, Panthers over the Washington football team, and then the Packers, as I said, over the Titans. So that's that. All right, thanks for being here. Another week in the books. Hey, we're 6-4 and since you know, vacation. So, you know, maybe we're starting to put a couple W's together here as we're heading in to college basketball season. Looking forward to some college basketball. Good. Well, let's not belabor this and make this video any longer than it has to be. Hit the like button. That always makes me feel good. And let's get some winners tomorrow. Nice day of NFL football. We'll see you again early next week. Thanks, and we'll see you later.